Think about a time when you were a child and you had to go to the doctors and it was time for those yearly shots. No one as a kid likes those. I didn't, I'm sure you didn't, and neither did your parents because you were always kicking and screaming. Well, now, think if you were a child who had cancer and had to get an IV in your arm each week to try and take chemotherapy that would possibly save your life and you didn't even know if it would. This is the sad reality for many children. Each year, there are around 400,000 children who are faced with childhood cancer. And these are in the ages of 0 to 19. These kids are diagnosed, and this information is found at the World Health Organization. This number is incredibly high and needs to be decreased, especially with the fact that childhood cancer is majorly undeveloped. These diseases do not seem to be prevalent in the minds of many researchers today. So when I first started looking for a foundation, I chose childhood cancer because that will be the field of work I'm going into. And so I searched through many foundations and found that not all of them really had a purpose, except Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation did. Alex wanted to make a change. So I did more research and learned about their mission statement and what their goal was behind childhood cancer. They wanted to change the lives of thousands of children and not just through some silly research. Today I'm going to tell you about why Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation is deserving of all of your donations. They are funding new treatment plans that could possibly save children all over the world, and they are even looking at the different mission statements and why their mission is who they are. And because of that, they are also working to meet the needs of each of these children individually. So let's look at their mission statement. Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation deserves all of your care and support because they have a mission behind them that is like no other, and it is driving the hand of all of their research needs. Alexander, or Alex, is a little girl who is suffering from neuroblastoma. According to Mayo Clinic, this is a type of cancer that directly hits the nervous system in all different parts of the bodies. This illness was attacking Alex Scott when her first started her lemonade stand. On Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation website, it shows us how extremely hard this condition came. She had gotten multiple surgeries to help take away the tumors that were in her back and abdomen, and even further from that, she had to undergo a stem cell transplant because her cancer had come back. According to Aker et al. With the Stanford Graduate Business School, it explains that Alex's parents were told that she had a very low chance of survival of childhood cancer. And even if she did beat that cancer, she would never walk again. But thankfully enough, Alex was able to beat this cancer the first time, until it came back and her entire world came crushing down again. So while fighting cancer in the hospital, Alex knew she needed to take a stand. And she was only 4 years old, mind you. So she chose to create a foundation that was going to support other kids who were suffering just like her. She didn't want to be just the only kid who was going through this because she knew she wasn't. She wanted to prove a point in that all these kids deserve this. According to Aker et al., Alex wanted the sick kids around her to understand that they weren't alone and that she was going to help them. So in her first day of her lemonade stand, she raised $2,000 to donate to childhood cancer causes. And from there, her parents knew her story was going to be much bigger than what it was. You should all also donate to Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation because it is helping fund new research that could possibly change the lives of thousands of children across the world. Childhood cancer is very underdeveloped and not many researchers go into this case. Megan Holman from the Today Show website explains that only 4% of funding from all of our worlds is put together to go towards childhood cancer individually. Think of this more critically. There is 100% of different causes that go into this. But yet, we only give 4% to these kids. Why do we do that? These kids are being deprived of the research that they could possibly have. So Alex's Lemonade Stand wants to change this. They are putting their money towards creating a cause that is going to make a difference in these kids' lives. And that 4% is supposed to go and fund the 400,000 kids that are diagnosed each year. That simply is just not enough money to take a stand to help these kids. Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation also needs your donations because without them, they would not be able to meet the individual needs of these childhood cancer life expectancy problems. One thing that can make a difference would be taking the research to the next level in this area. Childhood cancer is extremely underdeveloped in the afterlife processes. And by this, the Cancer Council explains that speaking of all of this after coming childhood cancer, the doctor visits don't stop. These kids don't just go back to a normal life as they once did. They still have concerns about schooling, how are they going to get to their doctor's appointments, and how are their parents going to be able to afford the millions of dollars that they now have racked up in chemotherapy treatments. It's just a lot for a parent to understand. And so if you think like these parents, they are struggling more than you ever knew before. And thinking more deeply into the life expectancies of children, their parents don't even know how long their kids might last, even after they defeat their cancer. Since the 1970s, there has been a tremendous increase in the life expectancy of these children because the treatments are now improving in how they attack the bodies. According to the American Cancer Society, they found out that through a variety of different trials, if they use clinical trials, less aggravated treatments, they were able to increase the life expectancy. Over the number of years, the life expectancy from a regular child and one who is faced with cancer slowly starts to decrease about 5 years each time a new treatment came out. Now this is incredible, but yet there's still a huge gap between these numbers. So why would we all not want to help bring this number down to a 0? Because these kids deserve a reason to have a life afterwards. And sadly enough, a lot of these patients think that these kids aren't deserving because they're just a child and they won't make a difference in the world currently. But these kids have 70 plus years ahead of them if we would just give them the resources that Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation is wanting to give them. Now, I'm aware that many of you may see this as a trivial cause to support to because it does receive federal funding. Well, it does, and that's true, but these cancers are majorly underdeveloped. And if we look on Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation's website, we can find out that they earn over $1 million each year to support these fundings. But that's not enough to take care of all of these children. Each one of them has their own specific treatment plan that they must develop, and it just goes on and on and on the list of needs that these kids face. So, they have all of this money earned from 20 different stands. But imagine if we were able to create another stand right here. It could create a world of difference in just one kid's life, or maybe even 1,000. We don't know. According to the New York Health Department, over the past 38 years, childhood cancers have increased over 60% overall, which comes out to a 1.58% increase each year, which you can see as the steady increase from the graph last updated in 2019. This graph never went down. It has slow increases and then it continually goes up. So why would we not want to help create the pivotal plateau on this graph? One thing that can make a difference would be allowing proper research to be done, but without the donations, we are not able to have this happen. Your money in this foundation would be used to help every single step of the research process, from creating the treatments to providing a place for these families to stay. More informally known, a lot of these kids don't even receive these treatments in their natural hospitals because not every state allows these kids to have these. So why are we depriving our kids of this? Each one of them deserves a chance to live those last 70 years, so we should give it to them. So now you can understand why Alex needs your help to change the world around her and childhood cancer. I hope you all now see the importance of supporting Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation and the childhood cancer cause it is battling. Childhood cancers are extremely underfunded, and programs like this are trying to gain awareness and show that each one of these kids' lives matter, no matter what they're doing. The stand wants to raise awareness so that it can donate to each one of these causes and develop research and life expectancy programs that are going to up the rates of these children's survival. This stand wants to make a change and provide an opportunity to research to these children to allow them to live a much lovelier life instead of fighting their entire way through it. So, at the beginning of my speech, I asked you to think about when you were a child getting a shot. Now think about your parents in that situation. They never wanted to cause you harm. They never wanted to put that pain on you. Neither do these parents. They don't want their children to be suffering every single day, and not one of you here does either. So, by gathering those donations, we're not only helping the children, but we're also giving some sort of relief to these kids. Parents. But without your help, these parents can't do it all on their own. They can't come up with the money to fund this research, and they can't come up with the money to fund all of their treatment plans and their hospital stays. So, when you donate to Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation, your contributions are going to a much deeper cause than you might think. They're going back to the kids and helping them find a way to survive their life, even if they didn't know if they could. So, these kids want nothing more to be able to go to Disney World or to be able to play with a toy truck again. Well, without these donations, they might never get that chance. So be the change they need to see.